Afternoon, beeps. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Let's jump straight into the news. Let's start here. Big news, disappointing news as well. Very disappointing. Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall 2 reportedly postponed again. Yeah, at the time of filming this, nothing's been announced by the key figures or the broadcaster or the promoter. So nothing from DAZN, Eddie or Matchroom. But I think Michael Benson tweeted a few hours ago that Josh Taylor has sustained an eye injury and the fight is off for now. Again, because nothing's been announced, we don't know when that's going to be rescheduled for. But yeah, this is super disappointing. This was definitely the biggest fight in the UK this year, maybe for the last couple of years. Obviously, a lot of UK fight fans have been moaning about all the big fights going to Saudi. And this was a case of, okay, we've got one over here. We've got a big one. Sold out the first direct arena in a couple of days. Decent undercard as well. Both pressers were good. I did the face-off. This is now the third face-off I've done and the fight's not happened. So Eubank Ben, what other one? AJ White, and now this one. Hopefully this one again gets rearranged and whatever injury Josh Taylor sustained isn't too bad, but I don't know, man. Obviously all the conspiracy theorists are going crazy. I don't know what they... Josh wants to fight Jack. Trust me, when I did the face-off, I mean, I was, I don't know, this close to both. And you could sense the heat. Josh is in good shape as well. There's a lot of talk about him maybe not being in shape. Looked in great shape. He looked ready for this. So I'm not having the Josh is ducking Jack nonsense. Rubbish. A cut's a cut. If it is a cut, it happens. If you are doing sparring, you can get cut. You're in a fight. I know you got headgear on, but you can still get cut. So, yeah, we just have to wait. We just have to wait and see. We have to wait and see what happens. But, yeah, can't lie to you. Super disappointed. And I wonder what happens to all those fighters on the undercard as well. Do they now make that into a next-gen card? In fact, you can't. You can't. I mean, that's the first direct arena. I mean, what's that? 13,000. You can't fucking have a next-gen card at the first direct arena. So, yeah, for now, that card is not happening. When was it supposed to happen? Was it the 27th of April? 28th? Have I lost my dates? Certainly wasn't April, wasn't it? Not happening. Eddie Hearn admits possible Benn Pacquiao fight in London depends on appeal. I thought that Conor Benn had this appeal hearing the week after his fight with Dobson. When was that? December? My dates all over the place. Was that December? Why is it taking so long again? Yeah, I don't know then. If it's taken this long, then obviously there might be an issue behind the scenes. If this fight happens, I think it's more likely this fight goes to Saudi or somewhere else in the Middle East. I mean, they've done events before in Abu Dhabi. I don't think they've done one, Matchroom. I should know because I work on them. But I think since Bivol Ramirez, right? I think that was the last one. But maybe there's an interest there. Maybe there's an interest in Dubai. Maybe there's an interest in the US. Who knows? But yeah, I'm still not sure about that fight at all. I'm just being honest with you. There's no point me trying to lie because I work for Matchroom and DAZN. I'm still not convinced about Ben fighting Pacquiao. What we thought we were going to get. Let's discuss that, in fact. What next potentially for Chris Eubank Jr. He's always been linked with Conor Benn, or at least has been linked for the last couple of years. He's coming off a career best win against Liam Smith. Obviously, Bomac in his corner, which made it very interesting with this rumour of Terence Crawford. And I did say, although a lot of you guys shut that down, I did say, look, I know the people that were putting that on and there was genuine interest. I'm not quite sure about that now, but there was genuine interest and a lot of conversations going on behind the scenes about making that fight. So right now, I guess Chris Eubank Jr. is a bit in limbo. Like, we don't know what he's doing. The names that he has been linked to in the last, I don't know, month or so. Yeah, Kell Brook's names come up again. That doesn't seem to be going away. Kell Brook was in Saudi. He was talking about it. Obviously, Conor Benn, they've been talking about it recently. And Terence Crawford. I mean, there are other options, but those are the ones that seem to be getting a lot of the headlines. Chris Eubank Jr. is a free agent as well now. Obviously, look, he had that relationship with Wasserman, and I guess that's still there. But what we're seeing now with a lot of fighters, and I think it's a great thing to do, by the way, is a lot of fighters are becoming free agents. They're signing 1-fight deals, 2-fight deals max. I think we've seen this with the big names. Canelo, Devin Haney's doing it as well. The idea of just signing 8, 9, 10-fight deals is a thing of the past. I mean, look, it still happens, but I think more and more now we're going to see fighters sort of just go from promoter to promoter, broadcaster to broadcaster, wherever they can make the biggest fights happen and get the biggest check. That's what we're seeing. Again, we've seen it with Devin, we've seen it with Canelo, and now we're going to see it, I think, with Chris Eubank Jr. How old is Chris? I want to say 34. Obviously, look, keeps himself in incredible shape, so it's not like even at 34, he's not old. He's not that, is he? 34. When's he going to be 35? September. If you're Chris now, it's just the biggest check, right? I mean, that's what makes sense. And of all the names out there, like realistic names, by the way, because I know he's called out Canelo as well. I just don't know, and I don't see how. I think Canelo's got other options, and those other options appeal more to the American market than Chris Eubank Jr. Although I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't turn away from it if it was happening over here. But in terms of all the options, in terms of Crawford, Alan Canali, let's put him down there. He is the best middleweight right now. I don't know if there's any interest in the Liam Smith trilogy. I don't think there is, although it is 1-on-1, right? Kell Brook, Conor Benn. Of those 4 or 5, the biggest money, I think, is still Conor Benn. I think it's the biggest money. I think all of a sudden, I think the fight might have actually got bigger than it was first time round. And first time round, it was big. And every time people have told me that, I've shot them down like, no chance. How's it gone bigger? I don't believe. But everyone I speak to says it's gone bigger. It's gone bigger. And if you're Chris Eubank Jr., remember all the restrictions he had last time of the rehydration and having to cut down, was it 157? But then not being able to kind of rehydrate fully. That's done now. Those restrictions are done. So Chris Eubank Jr. can fight him at 160 and go to wherever he wants. So if you're Chris, I mean, surely from a financial standpoint, again, look, Chris loves his money. All boxers love their money. But from a financial standpoint and the risk versus reward, like Terence Crawford he's just too good. He's just too good. Although Terence Crawford will be going up in weight, he's too good. And you lose Bomac because Bomac's Terence Crawford's guy. It's too risky. I mean, you look at Conor Benn and surely you're thinking, well, this guy's a 147, 154 guy coming up who hasn't looked great in his last couple of fights, where Chris is coming off that, again, career best win against Liam Smith. Surely that's the fight to take. Surely. You make sure all the drug tests are there. Surely that's the one you take. I just can't see, like, none of the other options make sense to me. I mean, well, they do make sense if Chris wants to become a world champion. So Alan Canali makes sense if he wants to become a world champion and other 160 guys. But if it's about the Benjamins, then it's Conor Benn. It's Conor Benn. It's a stadium fight now as opposed to what it was before, which was the O2 Arena. And I mean, Chris might look at it as easy work. He might. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does. Again, he's a free agent. So the Zone and Matchroom can snap him up to a 1-fight deal, right? I mean, you can go and do that. You can bargain. You can make the best deal for yourself. So he's in a decent position, but he doesn't need to get in the ring soon. When was that Liam Smith fight? Let's have a look. Was it a year? It couldn't have been a year ago, surely. No, it was September, wasn't it, actually? I remember I was in America. When was it? Yeah, September. Okay. Yeah, now. He needs to be in the ring now. We need something announced now for him. And if he does stick with Bomac, then I like that as well. I like that. So, look, let's see what Chris Eubank Jr. does. I somehow think we're going to see the Conor Benn fight. I really do. I think the Crawford one sounds good on paper, but Bomac, it's just a bit complicated with Bomac. Kell Brook, no thank you. Alan Canali, there's just been no talk of that from Chris whatsoever. Conor Benn, you're a free agent. Go to Matchroom, get your bag, fight Conor, stadium. Let's see. That's what I would do if I was Chris Eubank Jr. But You know Chris is his own man. He would do whatever he wants to do. Heavyweight contender Fabio Wardley confident of getting an early night against toughest test Fraser Clark. I will say this about Fabio. And look, I do think Fraser Clark's a tougher test than Adelaide, but I will say this, going into that fight, I actually thought that was a genuine 50-50 fight. In fact, up until fight night, I think I had Adelaide as a slight favourite. And the way in which he dealt with Adelaide, so I don't know, man. Well, I have no idea what the ceiling is for Fabio Wardley, because every time I see him, he's looking a bit better. And obviously, he had Ben Davison and Lee Wiley in his corner as well, didn't he, for the Adelaide fight? I'm guessing they'll be in and around camp as well now, and obviously they're riding the crest of a wave. So I do think this is a 50-50 fight, but I also wouldn't be shocked if Fabio sleeps him, because Fabio, he's getting better and better all the time. So yeah, it wouldn't shock me if he does that, but it should be good. Oh, here we go. Let's do this. Frank Warren, Anthony Yarde, Joshua Buatsi, definitely a London fight. Yes, sirree. Of course it is a London fight. And hopefully there's some conversations about this fight happening now. You know, Buatsi's done his holiday. He went to Ghana. He went to other couple of countries as well. I think he went to the Middle East. He's done that now. It should be a case of, okay, let's get back now. Let's focus on what's next. And what's next should be, without a doubt, Yarde versus Buatsi. Without a doubt. Get Tunde on that top table. Let him start selling the fight. This is what we want to see. This is what we want to see. This is O2 Arena, big fight. It will sell out the O2 Arena. I'm confident of it. That's what we want to see. And then the winner of this fight then puts himself in a position to, you know, be up there against whether it is Benavidez, Vodsdik winner, which hasn't been announced, by the way, or Bivol Beterbiev winner if the winner's Buatsi. That being said, if Yarde beats Buatsi and Bivol beats Beterbiev, I wouldn't mind seeing Yarde versus Bivol. I just don't want to see Yarde versus Beterbiev again. There won't be any interest in that. But yeah, let's see what can happen. Let's see if anything gets announced in the next few months. Anything else? Not much here. A bit on Arsene Gulamarian, apologies. Remember, he takes on Gilberto Ramirez. When is that fight? Zurdo Ramirez moving up to cruiserweight. Let's have a look. I think it's like soon, like very soon. It is on the 30th of March. Jeez, it's 2 weeks. I'm gonna ask to go out there and do it. Why have I not been asked to do that fight? What's going on? I'm gonna have a conversation. In fact, I'm not having a conversation because it's my birthday on the 25th of March, and on the 26th, I am pressing pause for a week. By the way, this is nothing to do with boxing. Now I started a little cut again. Remember, guys, I did that cut to 175. So about 4 weeks ago, I decided, you know, I've just been eating too much shit. And I just felt a bit sluggish. So I thought, you know, we're just going to trim up again. I probably don't look that trim right now, but trust me. So I started at 95 kilos. I am now 87 kilos. And shout out to Boxing Science, who have not wrote any diet for me this time round, but I've got all the stuff they wrote for me when I did the cut, and I've just been following that basically. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to get down to. I feel strong. I feel healthy. I'm really in the gym, cardio, lifting weights, like lifting exactly the same amount of weights I did when I was 95 kilos, deadlift, squats, bench, all that kind of good stuff. So we'll see. I do want to get down to like 84. You know what the problem is, yeah? You know what the issue is? This is such a random conversation. When I fucking got down to like 83 kilos, because I started doing the water cut at 82. When I got down to 83, I bought so many clothes at 83 kilos. All those clothes are just sitting in the fucking wardrobe because they're too tight. So it'd be nice to wear some of them again. So yeah, we might get down to like 84, 85 and then press pause. And I think I can get down to 85 by next week. Easily, in fact, by next week. All right, guys, girls, peace and love.